Hi everyone! In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to assemble my snowflake tea light holder. If you've been following me on social media, you know the last tea light holder design I created is this fluoro tea light holder on the right. It has the same box structure as the snowflake one, with the only difference being this decorative part, which is made up of branches of leaves. And this one comes with these little flowers you see here. I designed this specifically for fall or Thanksgiving decor, so the flowers give you a chance to add a little more color if you wanted to. If you're creating a winter scene, I think these two actually complement each other quite nicely. I'll include a link in the description for the fluoro tea light holder. And here is a look at a few more images of the snowflake box I'm showing you today. If you make multiples of them and group them together like this, it really is a very pretty display. And here's another version of this snowflake box. I'll show you at the end of this video how to create it. It's very easy, but I love the height that this version has. And it still has its snowflake characteristic, but with a little sculptural look to it. Now let's move on to the tutorial. Here is what you will see when you open your downloaded folder. The tea light box is made up of these two parts here, and notice the red dotted lines here versus the black solid lines. The red dotted lines are fold lines and the black solid lines are cut lines. If you're using Design Space for your machine, the red dotted lines will likely import as solid cut lines. So before cutting, you'll need to select these lines and change them from basic cut lines to score lines. Otherwise, they will cut as solid lines, and we don't want that. If you find you aren't able to select the lines on their own, you will need to ungroup the whole object first. And just double check to make sure that those black solid lines are not part of your dotted lines group. So when you go to cut these pieces, they should look like this. Now, before we do any gluing, let me show you how these two parts should attach together. This piece here I'll call our bottom piece. When you're assembling, just make sure this hexagon is on the left. And on this piece here, which will go on top, notice that on each rectangular panel between the fold lines, you have one snowflake arm. For assembling, make sure that the snowflake arm is towards the right end of each of these rectangular panels. So when we attach the two pieces like this, the snowflake arms on the two pieces will be nicely staggered. If we were to flip this piece with the snowflake arms to the left of each panel, when you attach it, the snowflake arms on the two pieces directly overlap and you won't get that nice stagger. So with that in mind, let's start assembling. If you've watched my fluoro tea light video, you'll know that I used a small paintbrush to apply my glue for that project. I've since found that this isn't really necessary, especially if you're using this tacky glue, because this glue is thicker than regular white school glue, so it won't seep out too much between your paper layers. So when you go to squeeze your glue on, just make sure that you're not placing any glue on your fold lines, but also try not to put too much glue near your edges. So here I'm just applying glue to all the rectangular panels. These are the only spots where glue is needed for this project. None of the other fold panels need glue. So once you have glue on all 6 rectangles, take your top piece and attach it on top. The left edge of the top piece should align with the slit on the bottom piece. Here is another bottom piece where you can see that slit. So here is the left edge of my top piece aligned with the slit on my bottom piece, and the rest of it should be nicely aligned. At this point, you should wait about 10 minutes for your glue to dry because we're going to be moving things around quite a bit in the next step. So we want to make sure the two pieces are securely attached. Once your glue is dried, you can assemble your box. The first thing to do is to fold at all the dotted lines. So with the hexagon on the left, you're going to fold every dotted line downwards and away from you. Once you have all the folds done, start wrapping the long piece around the hexagon like this. And when you get to the slits, just slide those tabs into the slits. Now once you get to the tab on the end, carefully get your hand through the snowflake arms and widen that last slit just slightly, and then slide that tab in there. Pull that tab all the way through, then on the other side just fold it back on itself to secure that hold. And that's it for the assembly. Now place the box down and gently spread open each snowflake arm. As you do this, pull each arm at a slight angle to fill the spaces in between the box sides. And we're done making our tea light holder. For my tea light, I bought these candle-like tea lights on Amazon. You can find a link below for these. And these should fit easily into your box. Now let me show you that other version that you saw in the beginning of this video. I've designed these so that you can actually pull the snowflake arms into the center and hook them onto each other. So here I'm going to pull in two arms that are opposite each other and just gently curl them into the center and then loop one arm into the other like this. Then if you want, you can also pull in a couple of the shorter arms. And now you're left with this version, which I like the wildness of this look. It's almost plant-like, but still with a snowflakey feel to it. Here is the original so you can see them together. And here's another one where I pull in all the short arms. It creates this nice little dome above the light. So have fun with yours, play around with the arms if you like, or leave them in their original form. And that's it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for following along. I hope you enjoyed this one.